Okay, number 13 says two forces, one with a magnitude of 115 and 160 respectively, are acting on objects at angles of 50 and 130 with the positive x-axis. Find the magnitude and direction of the resultant force. All right, so that means we have to, remember it wants the magnitude and direction. But first we've got to get some vectors, right? From vectors from the magnitude and direction of these guys, and then add them together. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is find the vector for the first force. So that would be 115. So we'll call it V1. 115 cosine 50 degrees, comma 115 sine 50 degrees. And vector 2 would be 160 cosine 130 degrees and 160 sine 130 degrees. Okay, so now you're going to add the two vectors together. So V1 plus V2 is equal to, and if you get your calculator out, you can use that. You should get negative 28.93 for the A's added together, and then for the B's you should get 210.66. So there's our resultant vector, and now we need the magnitude of it and the direction. So the magnitude of V1 plus V2 is the square root of negative 28.93 quantity squared plus 210.66 quantity squared. All right, and you should get, when you do that, 212.64 pounds. So there's the first part. There is the resultant magnitude right here. And then to get the angle, it is theta is the inverse tan of B over A. So 210.66 over negative 28.93. So do that with your calculator. And you get negative 82.18. And now we go work on the quadrant. This vector is in the second quadrant, so we take that degree that we got from the inverse tan and we have to add 180 degrees to it. So when you add 180 degrees, you should get theta is equal to 97.82 degrees. All right, so those are your two answers right here. Right, that was number 13. Let's move on to number 14. This is the dot product of the given vectors, and then decide if they're orthogonal. So if the dot product equals 0, they're orthogonal. So that's what you need to know, equal to 0. So the dot product, you remember, is you multiply them, the A's, and add the multiplication of the B's. So it's if this is A1, B1, and A2, B2, then the formula is A1, A2 plus B1, B2. Sorry, my dog's barking. So the dot product would be 21 plus negative 5, which is 17. How about 16? Right? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, yeah, 16. So that's the dot product for number 14. So 13, 14, let's go on to 15. Another dot product. Oh, we were supposed to say whether this was orthogonal. Since it's not 0, it's not orthogonal. Okay, number 16 would be, all right, 27 times negative 6 is 42, 4, 12, negative 162 plus 18 times 9, be negative 18 times negative 9, so it'll be positive. That's 72, so 162. Oh, we get 0, so yes, that's orthogonal. So yes, it equals 0, and it is orthogonal. All right, number 16 says, find the measure of the angle between the two vectors to the nearest hundredth of a degree. All right, so angle was the cosine theta is equal to the dot product, right, over the magnitude of each vector. So the dot product so remember this is the formula you need to know. The dot product is negative 42 plus 18, which is negative 24. All right, the magnitude of u is the square root of 49 plus 9, which is the square root of 58. And then the magnitude of v is equal to the square root of 36, which is 72, so the square root of 72. So that's going to be, let's say theta then will be the inverse cosine of negative 24 over the square root of 58 times 72, all under the square root. So go ahead and use your calculator for that, and you should get 111.80 degrees. So that would be the answer to number 16, and I'll stop with this video there.